Let's embark on a journey to streamline your development workflow using Docker and Visual Studio Code. This setup will allow us to create containerized environments, ensuring consistency and portability across your projects. This is a tutorial on setting up the development environment. So, what exactly is Docker? Docker is a containerization platform. It packages applications and all their dependencies into lightweight, portable containers. This ensures that your application runs the same way, regardless of where it is deployed. This makes your application consistent, portable, and efficient. Before we dive into setting up our development environment, there are a couple of prerequisites. First, you'll need Docker Desktop, a container runtime and management tool. It's recommended to have version 4.0 or later. Secondly, ensure you have Visual Studio Code, which is a code editor with support for extensions. Having the latest version is always a plus for compatibility and features. To enhance your Docker experience within Visual Studio Code, we need to install a couple of extensions. The first essential extension is simply called Docker. It allows you to manage containers, images, and Docker Compose directly from Visual Studio Code. The second recommended extension is Dev Containers, which enables you to develop inside containerized environments, providing a consistent and isolated workspace. Now let's create a Dockerfile. This file contains instructions for building a Docker image for your application. Here's a basic example of a Dockerfile for a Python application. First, we specify the base image, in this case Python version 3.11 Slim. Next, we set the working directory inside the container to /app. Then we copy the requirements.t file and install the Python dependencies using pip. After that, we copy the application code into the container. Finally, we expose port 8000 for our application. To configure our development container, we'll create a .devcontainer/devcontainer.json file. This file defines the settings for our development environment. Here's an example configuration. We start by providing a name for our container, such as Python development. Then we specify the location of our Dockerfile using the Dockerfile key. Next, we define any ports we want to forward, such as port 8000 for our application. After that, we specify any extensions we want to install inside the container, such as the Microsoft Python extension and Pylint. Finally, we can define a post-create command to run after the container is created, such as installing the Python dependencies from the requirements.t file. Now that we've configured our development container, let's open our project inside it. First, press Ctrl-Shift-P to open the command palette in Visual Studio Code. Then search for Dev Containers. Reopen in Container and select it. Visual Studio Code will then build the Docker image, create a container, and reopen your project inside the containerized environment. By using Docker with Visual Studio Code, you can enjoy several benefits, including consistency and isolation. Docker ensures the same environment across all team members. There will be no conflicts with the host system dependencies. Start containerizing your development workflow today. If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit CodeLucky.com for more such useful content.